A very good morning, everybody. Today we will start with the problems related to the properties of an LTI system. Now, in the previous class, I have already explained to you people how do you define certain properties of an LTI system, and we have also seen what do you mean by a linear system, what do we mean by a time invariant system. So we know that if the system is going to be linear and time invariant, it is going to be defined by either h of n if it is a discrete time function and h of t if it is a continuous time function. Now we have actually seen all the definitions related to the properties of an LTI system. Now in today's class we will deal with some of the problems that we are going to deal with, that is problems related to the properties of an LTI system. So let me now open a certain set of problems that we are going to do. Please take down comment on the properties of an LTI system. The very first problem says h of n is equal to u of n. Now we will simply have a very simple function. H of n is equal to u of n. You all know that u of n is in unit step function in the discrete time domain. H of n defines the impulse response of a system, and now we are going to check for only three properties in the system because it is given only three properties we are going to do in our syllabus. And the first one checks whether it is a memory less system or it is a memory system. Second checks with whether the system is a causal system or a non-causal system. And the third one we have to check for the stability. If you remember and recall the properties, we first say a system is going to be memoryless. Okay, the system is going to be memoryless if h of n is equal to c into del of n, where c is any constant. So if you find in this case, since h of n is not equal to c into del of n, that means even if I do any kind of a mathematical modification, you will not be able to write h of n as equal to c into del of n. It is not possible. That is why I call this system as a memory system. Are we clear on the first part of it? Second, what do we mean by a system to be causal or non-causal? See, causal systems are the one which are going to be realizable, physically realizable. And in short, if ever you have a graph, something occurs or the graph is present on the right side, you can say my system is going to be causal. If something is there or the graph is present on the left side, you can say that the system is non-causal. Okay, so I draw a graph like this. You check where does the graph have. The graph is present on the RHS including 0. Remember, you have to include 0. If it is present on the RHS, my system is going to be causal. If it is present on the LHS, then my system is going to be non-causal. So we know h of n is equal to u of n. Can we all draw h of n is equal to u of n? How do we do that? We know that u of n starts from 0. Okay, it starts from 0 and it goes on till infinity. Amplitude value is 1. That is why I call it as a unit step function, and the x-axis we know to be is equal to n. So if I draw the signal h of n is equal to u of n, it is going to look like this. Once it looks like this, what is the next step? You check. It is present on the RHS. It is present on the RHS. It is not present on the LHS. Therefore, I call the system to be a causal system. Are we clear, people? We now go to the next part, that is the unstable, whether the system is stable or unstable. So what do we do when we say the system is stable or unstable? We check whether the answer for the summation converges. What do we mean by the term converges? You should not get the answer to be infinity. You should get some finite answer. If you get a finite answer, I can say my system converges, or the summation or the answer of the summation converges. Now we will have a look here. It says summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity magnitude of h of n. This is the standard formula we will use for checking for stability. What is the value of h of n given to me? It is equal to u of n. And we know u of n goes from 0 to infinity. So I change the summation sign from n is equal to 0 to infinity. I take the amplitude value to be is equal to 1. And when you put this equation in the summation sign, you know this 1, how many times we are going to go on adding? 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. You go on adding till infinity. Definitely my answer is going to be infinity. Therefore, my answer does not converge. I say my system is going to be unstable. So this is something very, very basic. You people have to remember the equations. Not only remembering the equations, at the same time, you people have to check whether it is memory, causal, unstable, all these three properties for a given set of equations you people have to do. Okay. Secondly, we will start with only the discrete time problems, and as we proceed down, you will find that we are going to check for the continuous time functions also. So what I will do right now is I will give you time to write down these problems, and whenever you write down the problems, whatever hints I have given you here people, all these hints you people have to write it down somewhere in the margin. So let me do one more problem of this sort, and then we can go ahead and do the next problem. Okay, the second problem, it says h of n is equal to u of n minus u of n minus 1. Okay, the moment you see this kind of an equation, immediately what you should do, you should be able to draw it. You should be able to draw it, and we know how to draw the value of u of n. Okay, just for the sake of your convenience, I am drawing the value of u of n here. This is going on till infinity. We know the amplitude value to be is equal to 1. It starts at 0. X-axis is going to be n. Okay, this is my value u of n. We all know this is the value u of n. The next step is I try to find the value of u of n minus 1. Guys, if you remember, we have actually done this problem in module 1, wherein how are we going to draw u of n minus u of n minus 1 or u of n minus a minus u of n minus b. We have done that. So u of n minus 1 is a signal simply shifted towards the right by 1 unit. So instead of starting at 0, now my signal starts at 1. It starts at 1. Amplitude value is 1. It goes on till infinity. So this is my signal u of n minus 1. Once you say this is my signal u of n minus 1, I leave it to you people to subtract both these signals. If you subtract both these signals, what is the diagram you are going to get? You are going to get only one particular stem of amplitude value 1, and it is put at 0. This is the signal you are going to get. Now, once you get this signal, right now what am I doing people? I am simply telling you how are we going to draw the question itself. I have not yet started with the problem solution. We have just started with the question. So, it is your job, even though it has not been given to you here in the notes, it is your job to draw the value of u of n, draw the value of u of n minus 1, and then check what is the answer. So now if I check my answer, you see that I can call it as del of n. Okay, del of n is nothing but an impulse function, unit impulse function, discrete time unit impulse function. So can I now say h of n is equal to c into del of n, or c value here is equal to 1? Since I can represent h of n is equal to c into del of n, I can say that this system is a memoryless system. Very, very important people. This is one kind of a problem wherein you can express the given h of n as c into del of n. Since you could do that, I can say that the system is memoryless. One very, very important hint over here people is, before we actually start for checking for the properties, it is very important that you draw the question that is given to you. Okay, now that I have got this as my answer, for the remaining two properties, whether I have to check whether it is causal or whether it is stable, you are going to refer this diagram only. So what do we see? Do we see the signal on the RHS or the LHS? 0 is considered towards the RHS only, since h of n is equal to 0 when n is less than 0. This is another way of saying that my signal does not exist on the LHS. Okay, h of n is equal to 0 for n is less than 0 is another way of telling you that the graph does not exist on the LHS. I can say that the system is causal. Third one, I take a summation from n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity magnitude of h of n. We know, even though we completely take this summation, we know my signal exists only at n is equal to 0, and at n is equal to 0 we have a value 1. So the answer is 1. Answer converges. It is less than infinity. Answer converges. That is the reason why I say that my system is going to be stable. So these three properties is something you people have to remember. In the previous class, all the information related to the definition of what do we mean by memory, causal, unstable has been given to you. So I want you people to copy down these two problems here, whatever we have done. But remember, before we actually copy down the problem, each and every point, you people have to draw a graph like this and explain why the particular system has only LHS side and has only RHS side, if anything for that matter. Okay, please start writing down, people. I'll give you another 5 minutes. Copy down this and then we can go ahead.